What's up, world? Alright, so basically today's topic, got to talk about resolving conflicts and issues. So this summer, um, basically one of my top fears was conflict. I really hate conflict. I hate to get upset with people. I hate to have to resolve issues. I'm more of like a runner. So like if something's wrong or whatever, more times, more times, than not, I would try to hide away from it or get away from it. Um, but this summer, through the help of some friends um, who are Christians also, uh, I learned that conflict is not bad, but it's good and it's also healthy. It's normal. It's not it's not strange. I mean, it always happens. It's gonna come up when you got two different people, who have different opinions about life, different opinions about um, just themselves, different opinions about, what makes me feel good or what makes me feel bad or anything like that. Like conflict is gonna happen no matter who you are or where you are. It's gonna happen. Whether it's at work, whether it's at school, whether it's, anywhere, it's gonna happen. So this is what I was learning. So anytime that there was a conflict, inside of the house, I was living with like five other people. So you're asking for conflict there, you know, living with five other people that you've never lived with before. You might have met them, you know what I'm saying, but you never lived with them before. And living with somebody is different than just seeing somebody at the grocery store that you recognize. Like living with someone is actually sharing a space to live with them. So conflict was very present there, and we had to resolve our issues. So, anytime somebody didn't do one of their chores or anything like that, we had to sit down, talk it out, hash it out. Conflict it out. You know what I'm saying? It was one issue where they were kicking me and Crystal out of the house for being married, and they wanted us to, you know, uh, be married together, not with everybody else. You know, so we were like, "Yo, that ain't right." I mean, so we had to get down for like 30 minutes. We had to like hash it out and just be like, "Yo, we feel like this, we feel like this, we feel like this," and they were like, "Well, we feel like this, we feel like this, and we feel like this," and both sides, they had to listen and. It's conflict. The ending of a conflict is not necessarily to make people feel better, but it's just something that has to happen. So I'll give you a real life example. Last night, well, actually Monday, there was a young man who 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 took some music from one of my mixtapes, and he took his verse and the other verse of the feature that was on my song, and he took that and put it on his mixtape. He didn't consult me. He didn't call me. He didn't ask. You know what I'm saying? If that was okay. He just took it and he took me off of it. You know. So then I felt offended. I felt like hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because I looked up to this guy, really respected him. So he did this, and you know, I just didn't expect this from him. So I addressed him on it. As soon as I noticed it, I was like, "Yo, we got an issue. We got a problem." So my wife, I tell her about the issue, and then she starts tweeting like crazy. But I talk to him, and I tell him, "Look, we got to meet soon, like this week." So the meeting was actually last night. Um, so last night we meet over dinner, and I tell him what the issue is, and he was like, "Yo, it's a misunderstanding. Because the CD that I got from you, the CD that I got from you was actually a CD with just your verses on there. So I never heard my verse. Like I thought that you had just like taken me off. So I thought that you never used it." And I was like, "Really?" He was like, "Yeah, me and the other guy. Like we thought that you had never used our verses. So we didn't know that that you had used it. So apparently there must be a version out there with both of our versions on there." And I was like, "Yes, that's the real version. I must have gave you the wrong version by mistake." So if I had handled that differently, Instead of, contacting him like a man and establishing the fact that we need to meet, we need to hash this out, like we need to talk about this. Um, if I had of if I had have, got on Twitter or Facebook or, started spreading the word around that, this guy, oh, he's grimy, he's jacked up, he's this and he's that. If I had to express my emotions to more than just, my people who actually care about me that are in my circle, my wife, my brother, and my mother and my mom, like if I had to express my emotions to more than just them, this issue could have been way bigger. If I had to express my emotions to somebody who didn't really care about me or didn't really care about, how people perceive me, or if, somebody who doesn't really care about me as an individual, this whole this whole thing could have been way worse. Like I could have started slandering his name. I could have made a diss track. I could have started cursing him out. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of thing. I could have easily took this and ran with it, but it wasn't necessary. Conflict resolution, some helpful tools, address the issue at hand. You know, don't bring up past stuff or anything like that. Address the issue at hand and really work towards a goal in your disagreement or in your conflict. So if something is wrong, then establish like what's the problem on my end? Well, what's the problem on your end? Okay, how can we fix this? That is the thing that we want to do. You always want to fix the problem. You don't want to sit around dwelling on it or, always complaining that there is a problem. Let's fix the problem. So, hopefully, my story has helped you in some type of way. Hopefully, if you have any conflicts or anything like that, you guys can just push through it, especially if you care about each other, or even if you don't care about each other. In order to keep yourself healthy, you want to work through these conflicts. So whether it be, your parent, whether it be your brother, your sister, whether it be your friend, whether it be your enemy, you need to address the conflict, you know, but be adult about it. Don't be childish. Don't go around talking to everybody else about it. Talk to that individual person, fix it. Nobody else even has to know what happened, you know. So yeah, somebody hurt your feelings, you go talk to that person. All right, love, peace. KingTreCop is out.